All right, it is time to catch up and discuss all of the changes that have come to Trumpet, Trunk, Bertha's outflows, and futures. Specifically, the changes away from BUSD to BNB and a variable rate failsafe.
Wait a minute, what?
Yup, let's get into it. Yo, appreciate your time and just know that I'm SK Crypto K, and today you should join my crypto club. Maybe by the end earn some dividends, so in advance I'ma thank you right now for that sub. Hey! Yo, let's go.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is SK Crypto K, and before I get started, allow me to preface everything by saying that I am not a financial advisor and these are for informational and entertainment purposes only. First and foremost, I hope that everybody is having a happy and safe holiday season out there. And what this video will discuss are all of the changes that have happened, especially when it comes to Bertha and futures, which you can see in Bankteller's latest Medium article post, which I'll put in the description below. But essentially, futures version 7 is now live. It is nearly future proof. The daily rate is dynamic based on the health of the BNB Reserve. And most importantly, we have moved away from BUSD in regards to this contract, and now it is BNB focused only. And you'll see most of the changes right here on the yield tab of the futures page. So if you recall before, this yield tab used to look like the following. You would have your daily liabilities, a BUSD buffer pool, BUSD treasury, and then that would pool up all the funds and then purchase Elephant in the background to feed Bertha.
Yeah, I remember this being one of your favorite images in your AMAs explaining how Bertha just keeps getting fed. Is that no longer the case now?
No, it's nothing like that at all. Stick around, pay attention. So now you'll see the BUSD anything is gone. There's no more BUSD buffer pool or a treasury, but instead it's been replaced with this BNB Reserve, okay? Now futures works exactly the same way, where 90% of the funds coming in will purchase Elephant token and stuff that into Bertha, and 10% will now come to the BNB Reserve. But remember too, now BNB is the in and out token. So if you needed to compound your futures, you will now need a minimum of $200 worth of BNB, which there's a nice button here for minimum, which I can just hit that. $200 right now at today's price is 0.629 BNB. So if I were to deposit that, it would then compound in my available to my total value. It's important to note that your total value is cash accounted for. It is not going to fluctuate with the price of BNB. However, when it comes to the BNB Reserve, this will fluctuate. And as you can see, there's $276,000 worth of BNB at today's price. And so long as this stays above the daily liabilities, the rates on futures will not change.
Hang on, let's talk about this a little bit, SK. I like my 0.5% a day. Don't tell me it's going away.
Well, it's not exactly what you think. It is a fail-safe that shouldn't need to kick in. But in the event that it does, you can see your daily yield right here. And as I said on my other live channel, this should really only kick in black swan events where if BNB coin price were to dramatically tank, okay? And think about it this way too, but if BNB price were to dramatically go down, it would only be temporary given that Binance has a really healthy future. But if BNB were to go down to $125 for a 3 or 4 month time frame, that effectively would drop the Elephant token price, which effectively drops the Elephant Treasury Bertha's dollar value. And you could have a situation where for 3 or 4 months, paying a static 0.5% a day could really do some damage to the reserve and the Elephant Treasury. So in order to keep this healthy, a failsafe that kicks in only in times of need is important to have. Because, well, let's face it, we know what happens with static percent daily payouts that are compounded on a daily basis. We know how that game ends.
Oh yeah, you talking about that D word, son. It ends with a P.
Yup, you're damn right.
Now, this BNB Reserve does work exactly like the buffer pool did before, where it will handle all small claims out of the system, so long as it is less than 1% of the BNB Reserve value. But in the event that anything above 1% worth of claim comes out, then Bertha will step in to cover that cost and top up the BNB Reserve. In addition to that, you will now notice on the overview tab a sweep button.
I love sweeping. Is Bertha a janitor now? Can I help her out?
No, you clown. That's not what that means.
But what this now represents, and you'll see with this available sweep amount right here, is another Bertha outflow that will feed this compartment. And anytime someone were to hit the sweep button, this $880 would then go top up the BNB Reserve pool. So not only do 10% of all incoming deposits feed the BNB Reserve pool, but now you have reinforcements from Bertha to make sure that this stays topped off such that it is always above the daily liabilities. So theoretically, we should never see this daily yield go down. But let's talk about in the event that it were to, where I'm going to jump over to an example laid out by Crypto Stu, shout out. But if the BNB Reserve were to drop down to $100,000, but the daily liabilities were at $150,000, well, you would divide 100 by 150, get 0.66, multiply that into the standard 0.5% a day, and your new daily rate will be 0.33% a day. Now, this would only be in the event of a black swan event, and any drop in BNB price, in my opinion, not financial advice, would be temporary. Because don't forget, the dark cloud that was hanging over Binance's head is now gone with the settlement, and CZ, the former CEO, stepping down in place of his right-hand man. So with the upcoming bull run, BNB has a really bright future. And so this BNB Reserve, especially with the reinforcements from Bertha, should have no issues staying ahead of the daily liabilities here. As my friend from the live stream said last week,
This is one of those situations where it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Okay. I'm good then. Yeah, with all the reinforcements, I'm good. I'm picking up what you're putting down, SK. I'm good with it.
yep. And those are pretty much the changes for futures. And also don't forget, whenever you claim out of futures, everything works the exact same way, except now you're getting your dollar amount in the form of BNB at the current BNB price. So really, if you think about it and you're bullish on the future of BNB, whenever you claim out, you may not need to necessarily change it right over to a stable coin. You could leave it as BNB and let that price appreciate in the bull run. Now, there's also been some chatter about people wondering about fresh capital versus compounded. It's just like, look, listen.
The messaging for Elephant Money has never changed. This is a bank where you bring outside profits in, and that applies to everything,
including futures. So as long as you're staying net positive on the amount of funds that you're putting in for actual compounds, I think it's fine, okay? Breathe, people. If you take out $600, right, and you are using that $600 to do 3 months worth of compounding on a monthly basis, but in that same time frame, you get an influx of cash from maybe your tax return, or you score big on some other project, and you drop in, say, $5,000 extra dollars, well, hey, then you just caught up on that negative 600 you put in that wasn't fresh, and you are net positive now $4,400 into the ecosystem. That is fresh capital. You negated and stayed net positive on what you did for your compound. Okay, so let's just keep it a buck. The messaging hasn't changed. Just don't be actively looking for ways to game the system by purely claiming out and then using that to compound, and you literally never bring in fresh capital from literally anywhere else. And you will just have Bertha treading water as opposed to propelling us forward, which is what we want on the chart. And the last thing I will say about futures as well is that before, the BUSD Treasury used to pool all of those funds and then do small metered purchases of the elephant token to put into Bertha, right? There was always this constant buy pressure in that regard, but now it's a little bit different. Okay, there is no pooled amount of funds. It's all instant. So if somebody came in with $100,000, 90% of that, so $90,000, will instantly buy the elephant token and stuff it into Bertha. So in BT's words, he said that Bertha's growth is going to be more bursty, meaning it's going to happen in spikes since they're instantaneous buys. And then you may have some lulls where Bertha's actually going down a little bit because there's no positive buy pressure, because it happens in spikes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess so. Let me think about it. Yeah, it makes sense.
Good.
So if you ever see Bertha decreasing a little bit in size, it's just because we're in a lull before the next wave of NFTs were minted or the next futures deposit, but that's how you can expect Bertha to act now. Speaking of NFTs, you'll see one of the largest green candles right here on the chart just occurred over the Christmas holiday. But this is where about $1.2 million worth of the old BUSD treasury was then injected into the NFTs. This is that NFT magic trick that I talked about on the live channel. And it took some time, but after BT refined everything when it came to the NFT minter, he was able to finally make the purchase, and it happened to coincide with a pump in BNB coin price. So that's what you're seeing here, and largely we've been following what BNB has been doing. You can see that BNB price is up in the last 7 days, 16.7%, and has been on an absolute tear after hovering in the 250 range for quite some time. And then even a few months before that, we were hovering around a $210 price for the BNB coin. So with the upcoming bull run, this is fantastic news, especially considering that Elephant token is still in the top 3. Actually, we are number 3 as far as the holder count for on-chain BNB with 80,200 BNB coin. So as this grows over time, as funds are coming in from not only futures, but the NFT mints, and also folks buying the Elephant token with the fee capture, we are still gunning for that number 1 spot.
Yeah, don't slip up or get got.
Why not, man?
Cause I'm coming for that number 1 spot.
Yeah, okay. Moving on to Trumpet. So if you recall, there used to be some Bertha outflows that would go into what was peg support strategy, where it just purchased Trunk token, minted Trumpet with it, burned the Trumpet. In addition to that, you had the redemption queue that was paying out people in a Congo line, one after the other, their 1-to-1 Trunk with BUSD. Well, now you have all of that Bertha outflow pointed at Trunk token, okay? But in a 50-50 split, half of it is buying Trunk just to burn it, whereas the other half is continuing to do what it used to do, which is mint Trumpet and then burn that. So just recall, whenever you are minting Trumpet using your Trunk token, all of that Trunk lands in this back supply, and then you are being given Trumpet in return. There is a 5% fee that is collected on the way in, and then also on the way out when you redeem your Trumpet back for Trunk. Now, that total of 10% fee collection stays in the back supply, whereas when you redeem your Trumpet, it is burned. So because the price of Trumpet is Trunk divided by the Trumpet supply, you'd effectively have a back supply that is always larger than the Trumpet supply. And if you divide 77 million by 30.4 million, you will get 2.53. But just imagine how much is actually staying behind in the back supply, because when Bertha buys Trunk to mint Trumpet, she doesn't redeem that Trunk out. She's just straight burning that Trumpet. So all of that token gets trapped in this back supply, which really shoots up this price for the Trumpet. And also here, you will see a sweep button. So that Bertha outflow is accumulating right here in the available sweep. And you'll see there's $124 right now, which if someone were to hit the sweep button, this amount of US dollar will purchase Trunk and then do the 50-50 burn that I just described. So yeah, folks, that's pretty much it for all of the changes when it comes to Trumpet. But I think as far as this holiday update goes, this was pretty fantastic work done by BT. We can see that the Elephant Treasury is now nearly 200 trillion tokens, just a hair away from her actual all-time high of 212 trillion tokens. So I don't know any which way to slice it, but 2024 is going to be a fantastic year. I hope you guys feel that vibe as well. And nothing's changed when it comes to your each one teach one. This is still an $18 Bitcoin. That is how early that we actually are. And with all of the future proofing and hard work that has gone into this ecosystem, you can count on this founder to always make the right decisions for the betterment of the ecosystem. So make sure you're still out there focusing on the trifecta, that is futures, NFTs, and the Elephant token itself, which are all mechanisms that feed Bertha. Especially these NFTs with that $1 million injection. You're looking at a very healthy APR and not many more months left before this round 2 is over and the price doubles from 2 to 4 BNB.
Yep, you're damn right.
And that's all I have, folks. If you enjoyed this video, then please smash that like button and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell.
Ooh, let me jump in here. And if you vibe with me and would like to join my Telegram community, then find that link in the description below.
Okay, yeah, good job there. But yeah, until next time, folks, please stay safe out there, stay blessed, and make good choices with your crypto.
Ooh, it's a good time to be an elephant, baby. Yeah. SK, where you hiding? SK, where you hiding at? SK Crypto K, baby.
Man, I'm signing off. I'm getting ready for the new year.
Ah, yeah. No, I feel you, baby. It's all good. You go have yourself a happy new year, y'all. I'm out.